YouTube. Welcome back to the Bison Workshop. I'm Bob, and today we've got a special video coming to you. Something that I thought would never happen happened. And we're going to show what I end up having to do in order to make something happen. And I'll show you here in a little bit. But first, I wanted to put out a special thanks to the people who support this channel and help the channel out. You know, when you guys help the channel out, it makes projects possible when it seems impossible. So I wanted to thank everybody who supports the channel and are long-time watchers. I know some of my videos are a little off the wall from time to time and they end up getting deleted, but you know, we all have our moments. So with that said, let's go out here and look at what I finagled. And this was in a trade. I just happened to be looking on Facebook Marketplace, and I found something that caught my eye, and I've been needing one for a long time, and I can't afford to go buy one, so I had to resort into getting one that was junk and then fix it up as I can. So anyway, what it is, it's a 2000 Bushmaster Big Bear 400 4x4. And yeah, that sounds good, right? It's not. Trust me, it's not. But it will be. It's just going to take a lot of wheeling and dealing. I'm going to have to do some wheeling and dealing with the local scrap yards and hope that I get some pretty decent stuff to make this thing fixable. We don't know anything about it. All we know that it's been out in the weather for a long time. It was laying out in the woods on you know, on the hillside for years. So you know, between all these years of it setting, it's been busted, it's been cracked, it's been rusted, I mean, it's just everything's wrong with it. So, but we have a motor that seems like it has compression, and that tells me that the motor's good. It turns over good, the starter will turn. And I didn't really do a whole lot of testing because the wiring on this thing is just screwed. But I'll know more once I get it apart. I'm going to try to make this look like a really nice four-wheeler when I'm done with the Bison ingenuity. So without keeping you guys in suspense too much longer, let's just go on out here and look at it. I'll meet you right on the other side of that wall. Alright guys, so here's what we've got. We've got a Big Bear, and let's just start from the front here. It looks to me like something is radiator cooled. So I'm not sure what that is, but I got a radiator in the front, so that tells me it's something in there is radiator cooled. So but we got the cover here and it's all busted up. I mean, just busted up all to pieces. Yeah, there's no patching that. You ain't got all the pieces. Yeah, if you had all the pieces of it, yeah, it would look like a Frankenstein mobile, but we're not trying to make a Frankenstein mobile. We're trying to make a nice looking four-wheeler. So these two here, both the front and the back, is busted all to pieces. So right now we see that we have, there's going to be money in those. I hope not. I'm hoping I can find a deal with the local scrap yard. I found one that's not very far from me, so he don't have any bears, big bears, or any even Yamaha, period. So we may have to take something off of another one, like a Suzuki or something, whatever will fit the closest to the frame, and make that work. Or Bison can build one and make it his own. There's an option there. I just don't know if I'm going to have enough tread aluminum material to actually do that. Be nice if I could find somebody to make a deal with me on a piece of tread aluminum. I could really make this look like a nice bike. But anyway, we don't have no fire, and we're just picking out the obvious right now. What I'm looking at right now is there's a lot of gunk around the fuel switch valve. There's a lot of stuff around and I can see here the carburetor's been pulled out of the rubber going into the motor or the intake, and the rubber is missing off of oh no, it's there to the breather box. So let's go ahead and take the seat off. We got the seat that's ugly. It's ugly. Somebody didn't do a very good upholstery job on this thing. Yeah, I'm sure it worked for its purpose at the time, but this here could have been pulled tighter. So I may sew me one. I don't know, out of camouflage. If I got enough material, we'll find out. So we know what we're going to do with the seat. Something. Alright, so then this is the way I got it, just like this. So we got this hanging out, so I don't know where it goes, but we're going to find out. It probably goes right down in a slot here somewhere. It actually, I think it's supposed to, I don't know where it goes, but I know it don't go there. It looks like it's supposed to go right there. Yes, it's supposed, this here is supposed to be right there on these two posts inside the battery compartment. So we need to move that. So that tells me that for them to take this wire and make it long enough to reach clear out here, they've either sliced it or there was enough wire to come clear out here. But all this is supposed to be in here. So we're going to have to do that. And we got the breather box. I didn't know what it was at the time, but we got the breather box here, and we got the lid. So we got lucky. We got the lid to it. So that should snap down on there. Get all these wires moved. See, there's strange wires that are cut at the end. We don't know if they've added or if they have spliced. So I don't know what's going on with these wiring. Alright, then we've got the, I think that's the CDI box, and that's supposed to be probably hooked to that right there somehow, but we don't know yet. It probably comes up through this side, and then this here screws down onto that. I bet you. But we'll find out. I've been trying to find some videos showing me everything, where everything's supposed to be. I don't know what that's for. So we got some screws down in there that probably goes to these. We hope, but I only see one. They're probably 10 millimeter. I see this one, but that's a different, unless that was for that one. No, it'd be the shorter, smaller one for that one. but that ain't long enough to go through this and that. So we don't know what we're going to do here. We're probably going to have to change some stuff. And carburetor's been taken loose from everything, so I'm going to take all this out. And we also see that we need to fix the hand crank, the pull crank, because the rope's down in it, if there even is a rope. So we got to look and see. I might have some rope laying around here that were for other stuff that that I got a long time ago that I've been carrying around. Who knows? I probably have brand new stuff here somewhere if I didn't leave it in my other shop. Alright, so another obvious thing, well, you know, the racks. Those we're going to build. We're just going to try to cut these here brackets off of this, and we're going to try to make our own rack so that they actually mount to the same mounts that's here. So we're going to make those. Alright, then we have a master cylinder that is broke. Yes, the master cylinder is good, but the handle is broke off for the front brake. So this is for the front brake, and this one's for the rear brake. The rear brake's good, okay, so we ain't got to mess with that. So I know we're going to have to get a master cylinder, and that master cylinder is like $12.99. So the throttle seems to be okay. It turns okay, or pushes. So it's got good spring to it. It's not too hard. It's not too soft. Sounds like the three bears are coming back home. Alright, then we've got the dash. Looks to me like, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to make me a new one out of tread aluminum. This probably goes around this way, and then we're missing some lights. I'm hoping that they're down inside here somewhere, but there should be 3 lights. I see one, but I don't see the others unless they plug into here. I don't know. We'll find out. I see some wiring down in there, but I don't know if it's for the lights. So this here, we don't know what we're going to do. This one here is for reverse. This one here. So looks to me like somebody has messed it up too, because I don't see how it's going to connect inside here. It seems it's broke. So we're going to have to get a new reverse cable, because it's broke and pulled out right there. We'll find out if we can fix this, but we still need a way to mount it in here without it doing all that. So it looks to me like it probably goes in there and has a threaded nut that goes down on it, and I can't tell with my hand on the camera, and I need 2 hands to try to turn it. Let me see if I can turn it. Yeah, it's a little hard to turn. But anyway, I don't know if it needs to be running for it to turn easily. It might just click right into place when it's running. But we need to find lights for it, and we need to probably get this bezel or make our own dash. There's several things that we can do here. So that goes down on there like that somehow. Snaps on there, but I got to rearrange some stuff. Alright, so then we've got this rack, and I mean, look at that. They even used a clamp. One of them old wood clamps. Strapped it there, wires holding it something, holding this bar on. So I've got some steel rods here that can be used in building a new set. So we got 2 rods here that are nice, solid. So we got 1 and 2, and bunch of chain holding this thing together. I don't know what they were doing, man. Something's bent here, so these are bent, so we're gonna have to make new brackets going up, because those are bent all to pieces. I might be able to straighten them, I don't know, but we'll find out. That one's been beat on pretty bad, and it's broke right here. I mean, I've never seen anybody patch stuff. Oh, look here, we even got us a pin that I can restore. Cool. So the muffler seems to be okay. That's a good sign. Got the chain here on the rear end. I guess they knew that this thing wasn't going to make it to them, or make them a good trip, so they have a way for somebody to pull them. So when you have a chain hooked to your four-wheeler, you have no confidence in your equipment. That's what that means. Alright, over here on the other side, everything seems to be okay. I got to clean this up, repaint that, make that look brand new again, get some heat paint and spray the exhaust and make it look new again. Other than that, it seems like, let's check the oil here. Oh Lord. Yeah, that's going to have a tool to get it off, and watch me end up having to break that thing to get it off of there. I hope not, because it's pretty cold. So there's a look at it. There's a lot here that needs to be done. The first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and, oh, it don't have a drive shaft either. The drive shaft down here, as you can see, the yoke is broke on the front rear end, and let's see here, and the one back here, it looks like it might be okay. So it needs a new yoke up front, and it needs the drive shaft that slides in between them. So how's the rear? I don't see a whole lot. We got a brain box here that has been zip tied in. We got a wire that's disconnected that should go somewhere, probably to this one right here. Yes. Why that's zip tied to that and not in a location where it's supposed to be, I don't know. But we're not going to know anything about these parts until we start doing multimeter testing and see what's going on. This thing has no spark, so there's another thing that has to be dealt with. It could be anything that's causing the no spark. So we also see that the tires are dry rotted. They're dry rotted right here, right in the center, all around all the tracks, and they're pretty low, and I think I know where I can do some wheeling and dealing, trading stuff. Now, what I paid for this, as you guys remember, my cousin gave me a generator, a 10,000 watt Duramaster or Duramax or something like that generator, and the motor was blowed. Well, it's a good generator, just the motor was blowed. And I traded that, and I traded a tiller, a little weed eater operated tiller that was given to me by my cousin, And may I say, I have a great cousin. My cousin even lets me use his pickup truck. Thank you very much, Randall. He lets me borrow his pickup so that I don't have to pay so much gas in my truck to go to a doctor or to a grocery store. So that was pretty decent. Thank you. But anyway, then I gave a sander, one of them big long flat sanders, that was brand new. I bought it about 7 or 8 years ago. When I first got the Ford pickup, I bought it and used it on that fender to fix the straight part on the fender with Bondo, and I never did use it no more. So I've been carrying around all these years, and I almost pawned that thing off a couple of years ago because I never did use it anymore. So I gave that to him, and that was an even deal. He gave me the four-wheeler. He came and helped me. He helped me load it. He helped me unload it, and he came here and looked around to see what all he or I had that I could make him happy in a trade, and that's how we did it. No money was changed from one hand to the other, and that's the way Bison likes it. Bison loves them trades, even up trades. So now I have to get creative and sell some stuff and get some stuff for this and do some wheeling and dealing and trading with some local people here with parts. Who knows, I might be able to find somebody around here that has them fenders and would be willing to trade them for something I got. Who knows? We'll find out. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to start taking the fenders off, the racks off, and getting them off is probably going to be harder than putting them back on. So we'll just go ahead and start cutting this thing up. Well, cutting it up. Taking this thing apart. Cutting it up. Alright guys, what we found here is the tank is threaded. It's got threaded studs or inserts in it. And this one here seems to be okay. So I can't get this one to come out because all it's doing is the insert's turning inside the plastic. Well, I don't want to keep turning that until it's so loose in this plastic that it won't seal. So what I'm going to do is, I know that I'm not going to use this fender, but you never know what I'll have to use it for to make something else work. You know, I might be able to use this and cut it in a way and have to make fenders separate from it, and I can probably still use it. I don't know yet. But instead of cutting that off and getting it off of there, I still need to get this off because I'd like to try to keep this tank and just clean it out and fix it and everything and be done with it. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a hole saw, and I took the drill bit out of it, and it fits right over top of it, 7/8. Fits over top of it. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut around that bolt. And then we're just going to leave that bolt there. Anything I put on here, I'll just cut it to fit over this because one bolt's plenty to hold this over on there. So I'll just do the same thing to the other fender, cut it out like that, and then it'll go over top of it, and I don't have to worry about that bolt because one will hold it just fine, and the shank that will be on here from the old plastic, this plastic, would hold it in line with each other. So we're just going to cut this out. Got some stringy plastic, ain't it? Alright, so now it's loose. And we have a nice shank for doing this to the next piece. That way when it goes up on there, you might have to put a bigger, I don't know. It's still fine. This bolt's plenty to hold that on there. So anyway, I'll get back to finishing taking this apart. I just wanted to show you that. Alright guys, I ain't got much battery, but we've got it apart, and I lost my other shim like that, unless there wasn't two of them. I'm pretty sure there was two of them, so it's here laying somewhere, so I'll find it. Anyway, we got it apart, and this stuff right here has to come off. All this nasty stuff, it's got to be scraped off and going over and cleaned and made to look brand new again. So I noticed also that I think we have a lower ball joint on the other side here. We got a lower ball joint. I don't know if that's just the rubber, but it needs a new ball joint, and it needs a new boot for the drive shaft. So I need to get two boots, because that one's broke too. So I need to get two boots. This one here seems okay, so hopefully I can buy just the boots. If the whole axle ain't very much, if it's going to cost me as much for the boots as it is for the axle, I don't even know if they sell it separate. But I might be able to get just the boot. But this has been like that for so long. You see the dirt and grime in it. You know this is going to be a problem. So it would be best to just get another axle shaft and a ball joint and be done with it. We got a lot of cleaning to do back in here. Mud. Everything that I could find that I didn't want to find wrong, I'm finding wrong. The headlight doors or frames, this one seems to be somewhat okay, but they bent the adjuster screw to adjust the headlight up and down, because this is your swivel screw right here, and then this here adjusts it that way or that way. So this one's just needs the screw taken out of it, if you can get it out without breaking this part, because this is bent. We might be able to straighten the screw up, because it's just a little thin thing, so we might be able to straighten it up with a screwdriver and then get it out and then finish straightening it up, and that will be fine. However, I've seen some problems with this side. I thought, nope, it seems to be okay too. This one's actually straight, so this can all be restored and made look new again. Let's hope that the headlights work, and yes, I'll test them before I put them on there. And they just unplugged from the harness, and it is cooled by air and a radiator. So let's hope this radiator's good. Now if this takes fluid, I'm not sure how these systems work. Those are hydraulic lines, so I'm not quite sure what this is for. If anybody can tell me, for me, I would think it would be antifreeze in this, but that's a hydraulic line, so that tells me that, I mean, I don't know why they would put a hydraulic line on an antifreeze. So either this is oil cooled, which I would imagine is what it is. It's cooling the oil instead of the water, because there's no water in it. I would venture to say that's what the problem is, or what it is. Alright, now we can get a better look at the carburetor. We got a bolt missing off the top. Hopefully we can find one for that. 9 times out of 10 it's going to be metric, and I probably don't have it, but we're going to try. Fix that. Probably be best just get a rebuild kit and put in this and take care of the carburetor. It's obviously in rough shape. Inside of it's pretty black. Parts missing. So we got numbers on it, so we shouldn't have a problem. We do know that this is a 2000. I didn't get a title with it. And wiring seems to be intact. Unmolested here, unmolested, just taped up. Somebody put tape around it, so I'm going to take the tape off and find out why it's taped. I don't think that's original tape. I think that's after somebody, because it used to have this stuff on it, and I might have some more of this stuff. If not, I've got the other wire loom cover that I can put on this, but it seems to be unmolested. This part here, this part's never been cut. Got more hoses here that went to the carburetor, that went to something here. I took it off. I can't remember what it come off. I thought I took it off. Maybe I didn't. Maybe this goes to the other breather box or something. Alright, then we got, let me move that out of the way and set it here on the carburetor so we know it goes close to that. This here, this was after somebody just took 3 wires and made it a hot, and I'm just going, I think I may even have one in my toolbox on my truck, a short red with the 2 ends on it. I think I have one. This here looks like somebody has extended it, so we're going to change that and probably put another end on. I think I have some of this on one of these cables too, if I didn't leave it in the shop in Winston. This here looks unmolested. The wires do look like they need to be some attention on it. These wires, I have no idea what they go to. Blue and black. They also match up here, so these are actually original, so I'm wondering if maybe these don't go to, maybe didn't have tail lights, so it wouldn't be that. So I don't know what those 2 wires would be for. It don't look like that they go to anything here, to the fuse panel. We got the regulator. We got the CDI box. I'm hoping it's good and just the eyes are broke off of it. If it is, I can make a bracket to hold that down with. But if it's broke into the box, then probably wouldn't hurt to just go ahead and get another one if I can. I hope they're not very much. But, you know, there's a lot of stuff that's going to be time consuming as far as getting it. So the wiring looks pretty decent. It don't look like it's been molested too much. So far the only thing that I've seen that I need to figure out is the blue and the black wire that has no ends on it. Hey, look at there. Somebody riding a 4-wheeler. We got some chain out of the deal. We're going to take the back wheels off, and we're going to check the brakes and everything. The brakes for a set for the back and the front all together, I think it was like $7, $12, something like that. So it's just little cheap stuff. The only expensive stuff that would be something you can't get for very much unless you went and traded for it, which is what I'm hoping, is this nasty stuff, man. You know, for a four-wheeler to get that bad, you know it's been mistreated badly. The good part is, I think all these are good. This one here has a crack in it. That one has cracks in it on the bottom where the feet are, but that can be redone, and just put a piece of tread aluminum across that and be done with it. Other than that, where it mounts to the fenders, they seem to be okay. So hopefully this is all that I would have to get, this part and this part, because you can see it's in pretty bad shape. So we might just go ahead and build us a set of fenders, and we're not going to show you that until the next video. So I've probably sorry, I'm turning it around so I can look at the battery. So we're going to call this a quits for this video. Gives you a look at what I'm trying to work with here. We're going to do a lot of cleaning on this thing with scrapers, wire brushes, down in the motor. We're going to clean that motor up and make it look like a brand spanking new one. Recover some wires. I think I have some heat paint from another project that I did and had some left over. We might have enough to do the muffler and the shields and the exhaust pipe, and I hope this thing works out okay. Anyway, don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe. You guys have a good one. Later.